Now, this is video provided by police, which shows the target of this investigation on the ground. Investigators believe at some point the attackers poured beer on him. They say the attackers used sticks and poles to beat the man, kicking, hitting, and stumping him all over his body. Investigators say seconds before, the victim walked into the club and began calling patrons the N-word. Once outside, the video shows him continuing to do so, according to police. Miles Stone says he was at CJ's Sunday morning when the guy walked into the bar. He's just hearing that police are now investigating the incident as a possible hate crime.
You say, if I hear you correctly, no matter what he said verbally, you're saying he did not deserve those physical assaults.
That is what I'm saying. Now, I could be struck down by God or whoever it is or anybody that's watching, you know, saying, man, you're wrong for saying that he can come in and do that. And we know the opposite side of the spectrum, that we could speculate on what could happen to another guy of another color that would do the same thing.
Police say the victim didn't go to the hospital until Wednesday. They say he's in a lot of pain and believes his jaw may be broken. Officers say in the 3 months CJ's has been open, they've responded to some 30 calls here. They want it now declared a nuisance by the district attorney.
All right. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And that incident right there happened in Holly Springs, Mississippi. You see I guess that is the club footage or the gas station footage. That club seems pretty lit, as they would say. And apparently this white man came up in there. He was spewing some racial slurs, and he got dealt with. He effed around and found out. I don't know who the brother was with the ankh and the braids. I'm thinking he on Black Power stuff he's talking about. That shouldn't have happened. I don't know, why they picked him out the crowd. But if somebody walks into a bar causing trouble like that, then, I don't see any other outcome that could come upon this. Now, you heard what the news had to say, but I'm going to show you what the owner had to say, because they're saying that they're investigating this as a possible hate crime, meaning a white man walks into a bar full of black people, starts yelling the N-word, the black people beat him up, and now the black people are being investigated for a hate crime. Make this make sense. But before I get into all of that, I am going to show you what CJ, and shout out to CJ, because CJ stood his ground. He stood 10 toes down. I'm going to play you what CJ had to say regarding this incident.
First at 6, a Holly Springs business owner is speaking out tonight, telling your news leader the reported beating of a man on Sunday morning had nothing to do with his club. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. The owner of CJ's Lounge wants to set the record straight, he says. The incident sparked local and regional outrage after it was first labeled a hate crime. WREG's Mike Sirianni spoke with the owner and has details.
And I'm saying out of my mouth that I'm not closing. I'm going to continue to exercise my beer license and exercise my privilege license from the city of Holly Springs as long as I stay in compliance with the city ordinance.
This notice from the city was posted after several code violations and following the reported beating of a Caucasian male outside the business early Sunday morning.
I'm not going to go back and forth about black and white. I'm just saying he was belligerent and aggressive and an agitator and got handled by my security.
At issue is what happened involving the subject, seen in this security camera video, wearing brown shorts, a dark T-shirt, and baseball cap, who reportedly used racial slurs against CJ's staff.
When the light came on at 2 o'clock with signals for everyone to exit the property, the party's over, he got upset and got in my security/managers, he got in his face and started saying, derogatory language, using the N-word.
Fitzpatrick says the man was escorted out of the lounge but came back and was aggressive. He was reportedly seen in the parking lot outside CJ's throwing gang signs.
And they said that the guy swung on one of the other guys who was on the parking lot, and that initiated the fight outside. with his clothes being removed and so forth.
Fitzpatrick says to his knowledge the victim was not beaten with a stick or sexually assaulted, as investigators have suggested. He says what happened is unfortunate, that investigators have not asked to see his video.
To be honest with you, I have to be totally honest. I'm not here to clear up his name. I'm here to clear up mine and my business.
For your news leader in Holly Springs, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, trying to set the record straight there. And the victim is originally from Ripley, Mississippi. We did find that out, and suffered a broken jaw. Police have one person of interest in the alleged beating.
All right, so there you heard my brother CJ. Look, I'm not closing my business. I ain't going back and forth. This guy was belligerent. He came in using the N-word, and he got dealt with. Now, if you saw that video, you seen the guy all up in the security face even before he left. Then he came back and monster shoved somebody. That's why they stopped the video, because I can see my man on the side draw back like this and will probably mollywopped him. He mollywopped him, kicked him outside. That's when, some other patrons probably began the H-Town stomp. I know they in Mississippi, but they probably gave him the H-Town stomp, 1-2 stomp on his head. And, they said that, in the first video, he was stripped, beaten with poles. And, the investigators trying to say he was sodomized with the poles. I don't know, but remember Abnua Lawima? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But it's amazing, just like the guy said, that they're not asking to see his footage. They have persons of interest, and they're investigating this as a possible hate crime, meaning these black people went there minding their own business. And I looked at the white guy. He looks like one of those guys who tries to be black. When we all know, which one of the white guys we talking about was probably in there, trying to show off. And, he got dealt with. Y'all saw him push the man after, the man was calmly talking to him. And then now he's the victim. You say, well, the victim has a broken jaw, and this is investigated as a hate crime, and this bar is going to be considered a nuisance. All of those things, except condemning this guy for coming into that establishment where the proprietor clearly stated that the club was open. The club was over and it was time to exit the property. And this guy got belligerent. He got mad. He assumed that, no, I'm white and I say so, and the bar don't close till I say so, and got hands and feet put on him in a manner that was derogatory to his whiteness. in other words, but shout out to the owner of CJ's, man. This happened May 25th, about 10 days ago. But I find it strange that they're using the same hate crime bill that was supposed to prevent people from lynching and police from, killing unarmed blacks. They're trying to use that same bill against us when basically we were, or these people were, defending their own right to pursuit of life, liberty, peace, and happiness. Now, once again, I don't know who my brother with the dreads, Miles Turner, whatever his name was. I don't know. He's, they pay him. He may be the go along to get along person, but that ain't something you're supposed to say right there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, yeah, he don't deserve that like everybody do, but this man put hands on people in there. You know what I'm saying? So no matter, regardless of what he said, yeah, if he just came in there saying that, but if he wasn't to leave, then they have the expressed consent to remove him from the building. So, I don't know where they got that young guy from. He got on the aunt, he got on everything, but I don't know, what side of the tracks he's on. But you see the shout out to, once again, CJ's Lounge. If I was still a club person, I seen the atmosphere. It looks pretty. And I don't even know where Holly Springs, Mississippi is. But whatever it is, I suggest you not go in there if you are of the Caucasian persuasion. Go into CJ's Lounge and Bar, spewing the N-words and refusing to leave when they tell you to leave, and also putting your hands on the staff and the manager, or you will be dealt with in such manner as the patrons deem fit. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for liking, watching, sharing the videos, and also calling, email, text, and the information. Really appreciate it. Also the donations as well. Also for ordering the books, TaylorHousePublications.com. I really appreciate all your support. And as always, peace and blessings. Much love.